Yeah, they were in line for it. They've been in line for SRF. They've been in line for iJobs. iJobs, you haven't heard anything.
No.
Just heard today.
No.
And that was supposed to be out June 15th, and now the latest I heard was July 7th. So, you know, I think Neil's right. There's no action that needs to be taken. We can proceed forward and try for your money.
I think this is more of an informative thing for you
Oh,
guys
absolutely.
to see where you are.
I think what we'll probably do is, say we're probably going to have a session on this, and where are we going to go? Shall we proceed with, and find out what the bids might be, or are we going to wait? And I think we'll probably make a decision on that maybe even tonight.
Now, one thing, go back one step though. If you do RD financing, you can't go to bids. Okay?
Well, not until it's...
Not until they know where you're at on the budget. They have to give you approval to go to bids. Okay? So I just want to caution you on that.
But what we really need to do is make a decision whether we're going to proceed or hold on. And I think we probably will work on that a little bit tonight. But as far as if we would decide to proceed, we can go to the bidding process.
Well, if you go SRF. If you go to SRF, we still have to get the clearances, but they're getting close to being cleared.
But I kind of usually believe that
In probably 6 to 8 weeks at the most.
Yeah, you'll have with the completed environmental, the release of funds for CDBG will be August.
Yeah. Okay.
We can't do anything before that.
Right. So yeah, at the end of August you could.
Yeah.
Well, I think the council will probably discuss it, and we'll make a decision on what to do and let you know. Neil and Joe and Sandy and Gary. Okay. Council, does anybody have any questions they'd like to direct any of our people?
The rural development, I might just say, and Sandy, please correct me if I'm wrong, but the rural development process has always been a very arduous and time-consuming and complicated financing tool, hasn't it?
It's changed now.
Maybe it's changed a lot.
I already know how Joe feels. You want to hear me answer that question?
Yeah.
And these things right here that are happening seem to me to be typical. We have not done very many rural development jobs in the past 20 years.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons.
And part of it is that they spent, and I said, why? I said, you can get 3.5% money, pay it off, and refinance it. Don't stay the whole 4 years. Well, when you have changes in council and you have changes in clerks, they forget that you can pay it off. You know, and that is, so I never look at the 40-year, all that interest and all that stuff. I don't know what SRF does. The other thing, just last thing I want to bring up too, is for your operator, there's a lot of trainings going on right now with Iowa Water Association, the association I work for the operators. There's one on the remote equipment facilities coming up in Cherokee. Jonah's on the website. And there's one on lagoons coming up Monday.
This is the operator right here.
Okay, all right. What are you hiding over there? Okay, if you haven't looked at those, the lagoon one's coming up Monday. There's remote facilities. There's an OSHA one coming up. Those are some of the things that Iowa Rural Water Association does for the operators. I know you operators been at some of the trainings, but it seems like in July, all of a sudden, the training staff are really trying to get a lot of the trainings out. The one that came up was the one about the OSHA standards in the trenches, and one of them said, well, I don't need that. I'm not going to do the construction. And I said, guess what? You're going to expect what they do in your town. And so you still want to have some of that background knowledge if you have a contractor coming in. Because when I've worked with cities in the past, I always suggest to the operator, you are the on-site person. You're going to operate this system when it's done. You want to inspect it, you want to keep a journal, and you want to know what's going on. You know, so during construction, his job will be busy. Busier than what it is now. Not that he's not busy. I screwed that one up, didn't I?
Like a motorcycle.
Oh, he's the one with the motorcycle. But just to keep in mind, that Iowa Rural Water Association does that, just like my services do. They do that for you at no cost. Okay? So stay online with some of those trainings. You know, would be the last thing I'd want to bring up too, because they really have come out with a lot of good ones, I think, that I've seen. Okay? If you have questions before October 31st,
Joe, do you have anything else that?
I don't. Joan, I've got a copy of this for you, since that'll be in the paper, and I do have a bunch of signatures for Ron, but I'm just going to leave them here, and you can sign them after the meeting, and Joan, if you wouldn't mind putting them in the mail tomorrow, and I'll stick them in there.
Joe's really picked this up since the administrator has done a very good job of picking things up.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we're
coming together with it, so we appreciate that.
It was a few years ago that we did a couple projects up here. I've been around a while.
I know you have.
But,
Do we, are you ready for that 30-day notice for RD? Is it something we should try to get in the paper yet this week?
this week probably not.
Well,
If we get, if we get that stuff
Monday,
to Arnold,
Okay.
I can email him tomorrow. And if you drop that, this
I'll drop
off to
it off
him,
tomorrow.
yeah, we can certainly probably get it in the next couple weeks for sure.
Okay.
You know, for the CDBG end of it, I'm satisfied. That doesn't mean that Arnold will necessarily be satisfied from rural development side. There may be some things that they want to see.
Sometimes it's minor.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a whole lot of changes.
Right, and that's their prerogative. It's a different funding agency. That's for them to do. So.
Neil, what did you say the project estimate was at Newell? We were, I can't quote it exactly, but it was over $2 million.
And the bid came in at what?
1.44.
Whoa.
It was substantially. We had I believe there was 10 bidders on that project. And of course that helps to drive it. It was bid in February of this year, and it's under construction right now out there east of Newell. I believe it was something like a little over 2 and about 1.44 was big difference.
This is a dumb question, I'm sure, but I have a long-term concern with our sewer lines in town. They're older and dirt. Is there a way we can acquire funding to repair something on that line if we're already obligated?
You're always going to be in debt. Did you look at that one?
Well, we did, and
Did you do some testing?
and the answer is yes, you could. There is a way to get funding for that. What we have done is we have designed the system to handle all that flow. One thing that happens when you can line sewers, you can replace them, but you can never take all the infiltration out. So we used to, way back in the 80s, there was these utopia things that we could get all the infiltration out and you could have just sewage going in. We found, not we, but engineers or whatever, found in general that you couldn't do that. But yes, you can get funding, and we have that. You can slip line pipes, but what you end up with is you still have that line from the sewer up to the house. Now they can slip a line up part way, or you can dig it up and replace the service lines. You got all these foundation drains that are around the house that you don't know about. You know, some of them may go to sump pumps, and you can get rid of those, but the ones that don't go to sump pumps, it's very difficult. So if you have lines that are collapsing and you know that they're really bad, that's where to attack maybe, doing some slip lining and stuff like that.
Well, and the other advantage to kind of splitting these into different projects is that you maximize your funding.
Yeah.
You know, if you say now you had, instead of a $2.5 million project, you had a $3 million project, you're not going to get any more than $500,000 a grant. You know, maybe if we get this project done and then in a year say, hey, we got old sewer lines, we can try for some more funding.
Maybe we can make 10 years without.
Yeah, and then get another $500,000.
Yeah, get another $500,000.
For assisting that. Yeah.
Right.
Good question though, because these sewer lines are old. There's no question.
Really? Even older than I am, Mike.